Good morning, this is Jenny with My Body Can Breathe, where we do health the slow and steady way. You've jumped into video number 2 of a 4-part series about cravings and how we can change our perspective so that we're not fighting them all the time, we're actually using them to our advantage. In video 1, we talked about waiting before we move forward, and I go into more detail about what that means in the first video. So if you haven't seen that, I encourage you to click on the link I've posted so that you can go back to the first video and spend some time on that one first. These steps are not meant to be gone through quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're taking quite a while actually to evolve and to become new and to really change our patterns sustainably. So go back and watch that first video if you haven't. If you have, welcome to video number 2. And what we're going to talk about today is what to do with that wait period. Because as you might have noticed, just waiting for 90 seconds or 5 minutes or 3 minutes might seem a little weird, right? What should we do? Because we're so tuned to having to do things in this world and having to get things done, and waiting just seems like maybe a waste of time. So what we're going to do during that wait period is we're going to say hello and say goodbye. And there is a reason behind it, and I'll get to that in a moment, but let me explain what I mean by saying hello and saying goodbye. We all have thoughts running through our heads, our minds, unchecked, right? Maybe we tell ourselves that we're not worth all this fuss. Maybe we tell ourselves that we're not strong enough. Maybe we tell ourselves that we might as well just eat 1 or 2, it's not gonna hurt, and we give in. Maybe it's, that extra 15 minutes sitting to watch the Netflix show when we know we would be way better benefited to get that extra sleep. Whatever it is, we just, we have all these thoughts that are like stuck in our brains, and they're thought loops, and we tend to kind of obsess about them without even realizing it. And we let them determine what we're going to do with our futures. I mean, this is a big deal. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab hold, we're gonna say hello to those thoughts. We're actually going to acknowledge them because, well, I know that, if you're like me, you like to be acknowledged, right? You like to get a little bit of attention. So we're gonna give attention to those thoughts, and we're actually going to notice them coming at us. Say them out loud if you have to. Sit there and tell yourself what you hear yourself telling yourself, like, I'm not good enough. I don't care if I eat this cookie because I'm fat anyways. I know that sounds awful, you guys, but those are the thoughts that go through our heads, and we don't deserve them, but we need to identify them first if we're ever going to let them go. So picture them coming at you, kind of slow and steady style. I have a favorite meditation app. Oh, that's my kid in the background. Called The Daily Calm. And the narrator on that app is wonderful. She talks about letting thoughts come like down a river towards you. You're sitting on the bank and you're imagining the leaves swirling, dancing in the little ripples. And then what do the leaves do as they pass you by and you're sitting there on the bank? They go away and they go on down the river towards the horizon and they disappear. And that's where the saying goodbye comes into play. So you say hello to these thoughts, you give them a voice, and then you let them go. You don't need them, just watch them leave and say goodbye. And you're gonna get much better at picking these thoughts out of your head and acknowledging them and letting them go, so that this 90 seconds is a cleansing of sorts, so that you're acknowledging what's going on in your head, and then you're saying, you know what, those things don't define me. I'm sitting here in this moment and I'm present and I'm quiet, because guess what, a quiet mind is a proactive mind, and more on proactive coming up in step 4. But we want to practice minding our minds instead of letting our minds mind us. So practice that, practice grabbing a hold of those thoughts and feelings, and then giving them a voice, and then letting them go. And next, take your time, hopefully about a week or so, and then go on to step number 3. Okay, so Thank you for watching. You can always subscribe to my channel if you'd like, or my Facebook page. You can like that at My Body Can Breathe. I really appreciate you jumping in. Make it a healthy day. And remember, when you feed your body well, it will reward you with life. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.